So hey guys, if you would like to sponsor somebody to the UK with a visitor's visa, this video is for you. Lately, I've been receiving a lot of questions. Oh, because I want to sponsor my mom to the UK. I want to sponsor my sister, my brother, my cousin, my nephew to the UK. What do I need to do? So, which is what has informed this video, okay? Because I've just been inviting a lot of people in the DM. I have sponsored somebody to the UK as well, my sister.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
And of course, she got her visa very seamlessly, which is why I have decided to make this video, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, for you to be a sponsor, for you to sponsor another person for a visa, then you need to be a legal resident of the UK and you need to be able to show that you can afford to sponsor this person. You also need to show that you have a place of residence that can accommodate this person. So let's imagine you want to invite your mom to the UK with a visitor's visa and you want to be her sponsor. You're going to be providing your proof of funds, your bank statement to show that you can afford to sponsor her. You have the money. In essence, that means they're not going to be looking at her proof of funds. They're going to be assessing your own proof of funds to show that you have enough money to take care of your mom for the duration of her stay in the UK. They are also going to see your source of income. So if you've put 5,000 in your bank account, they want to see your pay slip and your bank statement to show that 5,000 can be justified. Otherwise, where did you get it from?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
So the same rule that applies to applicants when they are submitting proof of funds will apply to you. So you cannot afford to be paying in lump sum amounts few days to submitting that bank statement for your mom. Anyways, that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be explaining everything you need to know so that the next time you want to sponsor somebody for a UK visitor's visa, you do it properly and they will get that visa. So hi, my name is Kus. If you're seeing me for the first time, I help ambitious individuals study, work and travel smarter in the UK and beyond. And if that sounds like you, hit the subscribe button. So to be a sponsor, you don't need to do too much. You just need to submit your passport, which is your travel document, your bank statement, your 3 months bank statement, 3 months worth of pay slip, which will show your source of income, and you have to show proof of accommodation, which I think your address is enough, also because your bank statement will carry your address, okay? So the address you provide in your letter of intent should align with the address in your bank statement. And then I think the last thing for you to provide is your letter of intent. You cannot be a sponsor without writing a letter of intent, or in this instance, a letter of support, okay? Sponsorship letter, that's what we call it. You're going to give all these documents to the applicant. But if you are the one completing the application for the applicant, then you keep all the documents to yourself because you're going to be the one uploading. But if you are not the one uploading the documents, you need to just send all these documents, scan your passport to the applicant, scan your letter, write your letter of sponsorship and scan it to the applicant. Then the applicant will print it out and take to their visa appointment. So I have my laptop here. I'm going to look at this letter of intent that I wrote for my sister, and I'm going to pick out some points so that I can share with you the sponsorship letter that I wrote. So in the letter, I had my address on the right. I had the visa officer, UK Visas and Immigration, Home Office, London, United Kingdom. That is their own address on the left. I said, "Dear sir, madam, invitation and sponsorship letter for my sister's name. My name is Chevening and I am a current resident in the UK with a skilled worker visa valid until so and so year." That introduction is there to introduce yourself to show that you have a legal residency in the UK, which gives you the authority to be able to invite somebody, to be able to sponsor somebody to come and visit you in the UK. I work as a contracts manager at my employer and I live in a rented apartment in Loughborough. If you've bought your house, you say I live in a mortgage apartment or whatever. I just wanted to say I live in a rented apartment, okay? Please see photographs of my BRP and passport attached to this letter as evidence of my permission to be in the UK. I think what people struggle with is you don't know what the visa office is looking for. If you knew what the visa office is looking for, I don't think you would struggle. So usually once I know that they are trying to get me to establish my legal residency in the UK, they're trying to assess if I have the affordable, if I can afford to sponsor this person, then I tell them what I do. I tell them where I live. I tell them my affordability. I tell them when my visa expires so that they know that I'm not going to run away in 3 months' time. I'm here for the long term. So that's the first paragraph, which has successfully introduced me, what I do, where I live, and all of that. I am writing to invite my sister to the UK to enable her to, she came to write an exam. So I said to enable her to write an exams. I now provided the exam details. So if your sister or if your mom is coming for tourism, coming to visit you, to enable her to visit me and spend time with me. And I said, I mentioned my sister's name and I said, she is my biological sister from the same mother and father. And I said, and before getting married and changing her name, her maiden name was, I too smart, I too intelligent, I'm too smart. Let me explain. You know that, of course, the British culture is different from African culture. And if you see the way the British people regard us, they usually think we are all from the same place. So even when somebody's not your sibling, you would say they're your siblings. Like black people, everybody's your cousin, everybody's your auntie, everybody's your sibling. So when you are sponsoring somebody, you want to be able to establish the connection. Is this person your friend? If this person is your friend, how long have you guys known each other for? If this person is your sibling, prove it. Prove it. Sweet. If this person is your mom, prove it. Now, my sister is married and has changed her name. And I said, proud to her being married and changing her name. Her maiden name was this, so that you see that our names align. It's too smart. I know these things. I know how to catch these people. Anyways, that's the second paragraph. I explained what my sister is coming to do and my relationship with her, my relationship with this person. The person that you're sponsoring does not necessarily have to be your family member, but you must establish the solid relationship, okay? The next paragraph, I said, I will be sponsoring my sister during her stay in the UK. But now, people don't understand what sponsorship means. Sponsorship could be accommodation. Sponsorship could be financial support. Sponsorship could be anything. So you have to explain the extent of your sponsorship so that the applicant will not bother explaining that again. If in your sponsorship letter you do not say you're going to provide accommodation, they would need the applicant to prove where they are going to stay. If in your sponsorship letter you do not say you are going to provide money for upkeep, you're going to take care of this person's daily expenses, they will expect that person to prove it in their own letter of intent and in their application. So you need to be deliberate and you need to know exactly what to say in the letter of intent. I will be sponsoring my sister during her stay in the UK by providing accommodation in a one-bedroom flat where I live alone. I read this thing. Anyways, I said in a one-bedroom flat where I live alone because in a standard UK house, a one-bedroom flat is for two people. But I live alone, which means my sister can come and stay with me conveniently. If, say, I was married with a child and I live in a two-bedroom flat and maybe I'm sponsoring my parents, they will ask, where are they going to stay in the two-bedroom flat? So it would be ideal for me to live in a three-bedroom flat with, knowing that I and my husband is one room, and if I have a child, one room, and then my parents will be in the third room. If I don't have a child, two-bedroom flat is fine because it means my parents will stay in the second room. You need to think ahead. You need to be proactive. You need to address any questions that may come up in their minds. So I said, by providing accommodation in a one-bedroom flat where I live alone, and also providing financial support of up to 1,500 for her feeding, transportation, and other needs while in the UK. Now, when you go to the UK government website, they're going to tell you that when your proof of funds for visitors visa, because they don't tell you how much you need to show for visitors visa in proof of funds, but they want you to, of course, in the application, they're going to ask you how much are you going to be spending every day in the application for the person that is applying for visitors visa. They're going to be asking the person, how much do you plan to spend every day for your trip? How long do you plan to stay? So if the person, so my sister in the application, we had said she was staying for 2 weeks. And in that 2 weeks, I said I was going to support her, and also I will be providing financial support of up to 1,500. Now, if cost of living is £100 a day, which is not, obviously, £100 a day, 14 days would be £1,400. But I said £1,500 because cost of living is not £100 a day. She's not going to be paying rent. So of course, I'm going to be providing her with food. But let's assume she was going to be buying food every day and paying transportation. £50 is probably enough. The thing that really takes a lot of money with proof of funds is usually accommodation. So if you're not paying for accommodation, your proof of funds relatively should be lower. So, but usually we recommend you give more money than is expected. So I put 1,500. I put 1,500 in this letter, but I put more money in my bank account, just so that when they see my bank account, they see that I have more money than I require to take care of this visitor that is coming. So I said, of support of up to 1,500 for her feeding, transportation, and other needs while in the UK. Please see attached my Lloyd's bank statement of August and September. I provided 2 months bank statement. Okay, that means 3 months bank statement is not mandatory for the sponsor because it looks like I provided 2 months bank statement. So I said, please see attached my last bank statement of August and September as evidence of my address. Hey, you know why I say evidence of my address? Because if you say I live here and your bank statement says something else, it's a problem. So I need to remind them that my address is on my bank statement. Because other times some people will say, oh, should I submit my rent and my tenancy agreement? Yes, you can submit your tenancy agreement as proof. However, if the address is on my bank statement, that's proof enough. That's enough proof for you. So I said, as evidence of my address and financial capacity to sponsor my sister during her stay in the UK. I am a law-abiding resident in the UK and have never breached any UK immigration law and will continue to adhere to the rules of my visa while my sister, every time I say my sister, I mention her name. So while my sister is staying with me and thereafter, I can also guarantee that my sister will comply with the rules of her visitor visa and will not be in breach of her permission to stay in the UK. Every time you apply for a visa application, whether you are the sponsor or you are the applicant, you want to establish the fact that you are law-abiding, you will not overstay your visa, you will not breach your visa conditions. I am happy to be contacted should you require any further information or documents from me, and will be grateful if you can favorably consider my sister's visitor's visa application. Thank you, and please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Kusemese. I added my email address just in case, and I added my email address, I added my phone number. The documents I attached my BRP because back then my BRPs were still valid. So I attached my BRP. This time around, you're going to attach your e-visa. Of course, you can say the UK government can access your e-visa anywhere. Yes, but just don't stress them. Give it to them. I attached my BRP. I attached my passport. So BRP would be replaced. E-visa replaces BRP in this instance. I attached my passport. That's a scanned copy of the biodata page of my passport, and I attached my Lloyd's bank statement. So when you provide all that information, it is easy for you to establish that you are the sponsor. You've been able to establish the connection between you and the applicant. How are you related? Are you friends? Are you family? And you've been able to show that I can sponsor her up to this amount. This is my source of income. I am a legal resident in the UK. I have the privilege to sponsor this person. And it's easier for them to be convinced, okay? Let me know if you have any questions. I have a video where I show the step-by-step application for UK visitors visa, all the questions from start to finish. So I'll link that video in the chat box so that you would see how to apply for a UK visitors visa. Send that video to the applicant so that the applicant will know how to answer the questions, what questions to expect. And these details apply to any visitors visa at all. It doesn't have to be a UK visitors visa. If you want to sponsor somebody for a Schengen visitors visa, why am I saying Schengen visitors visa? Schengen visa, tourist visa, or any other tourist visa at all, if you want to sponsor somebody, then this is the way to go. This is how you write your sponsorship letter. I have a Schengen visa guide for all those who would like to apply for Schengen visa. Check the description box. I have a Schengen visa guide where I take you on a step-by-step journey on how to apply for Schengen visa and how to get your visa approved for more than 1 month. I've seen too many people whose visas were approved for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Why? Don't do that. Check for my Schengen visa guide in the description box so that you can get your visa approved, your Schengen visa approved for a long period of time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Share this video to anyone you know it would help. Click the like button and subscribe if you're yet to, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.